Hey everybody, Mr. B here, and welcome to the channel. So springtime is coming. We're about to get hit with some pretty serious springtime thunderstorms, which is normal in my part of the world. But what this usually means is daddy's fat and daddy needs to lighten it up. And when I need to lighten it up, I will typically reach out to the Mediterranean for inspiration, okay? And I love Mediterranean food anyway. And there's a lot of great options that you can do here. It's gonna steer you away from a lot of that saturated fat, right? Towards good fats, using great herbs and citrus and things like that, so that you're not missing any type of flavor situation. I get a ton of inspiration from Susie Kardashian, if I'm pronouncing that right, from the MediterraneanDish.com, okay? Love her stuff. It's easy, it's accessible, it's weeknightable, but it's dinner party ready, should you be so inclined. I will leave links to her stuff. It's not sponsored in any way. I just like sharing tools to folks who like food and like to cook and like to experiment in the kitchen. Great books, beautiful pictures. You can read it like a novel and you will really get some good inspiration here. So for what we're doing today, it's called a Balela Salad. And this one is coming out of the Mediterranean Dish, Simply Dinner. It's her latest, and it is on page 112, okay? Now, what I am gonna be doing, as I always do, is probably taking some liberties with this, right? The recipe will be in the description, per usual, link to my website. I will also, because this is all on her, give you the link to her website as well. Another thing I will say with her is she has some really great products, olive oil, spices, things like that, that you can add to your pantry. So kids, let's put together a Balela salad, right? That gets better as it sits in the refrigerator, will fill you up, perfect for one of those work from home lunches where you just got to grab something and get on the meeting. Can't say enough good stuff about it. One last thing I will say is that she has helped me redefine how I look at salads, okay? So, you know, before kind of getting into this sort of stuff, you know, it was the bag of salad with a bottle of ranch dressing, you throw a carrot on it, or actually you bought all of that stuff and you ended up throwing it away because it just has no shelf life. Her stuff does, okay? Let's put this together, kids. We're gonna start by draining and rinsing 2 cans of chickpeas here, packed with protein. You're gonna see these a lot in Mediterranean cooking, and I absolutely love them. There we go. We're gonna let those drain while we're putting the veg together. We are gonna start the salad by making the dressing. The reason why I like to do that is I like that dressing to kind of get acquainted, you know, while we're doing the prep for the remainder of the salad. Another great thing about this recipe, you can do it in all one bowl. So I'm gonna start by just breaking down some garlic here. Now, the recipe calls for 1 clove. I'm not gonna be foolish. I mean, you know, so this is 1 large and a couple of small ones. You know, do what you need to do. All right, we'll bring our bowl over and let's get started on the dressing. We're gonna start with around 1/4 cup of olive oil. Some good stuff here, guys. Because, you know, it's a salad. You're not cooking with it. Next up, we're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of using red wine vinegar. Just basically making kind of a vinaigrette here, guys. I'm going to add in juice of a lemon. All right on that. Next, we're going to do up some of our dried seasoning, and I'm going to start with a good teaspoon of some sumac. I love this stuff. Let's hit it with a little bit of some chili flake. This is optional, depending on how emotional you are about the heat. I'm like, give it to me. Next up, some Aleppo pepper. About a teaspoon there. I'm going to add salt and pepper to taste. You can always add more later, and we're going to give this a really good whisk to incorporate all that. Oh, it's so good. And now we can move to putting together the salad. I'm going to apologize in advance because there is a thunderstorm going through, if you can hear that. Okay, so let's start with one of the many stars of this show, and that is the delicious grape tomatoes, which, here's what I'm looking for, good Lord. We're just going to cut these in half and add them to our bowl, guys. Right? Recipe calls for about 2.5 cups of these tomatoes, and particularly, I'm not too terribly pleased with the quality of these, but it is what it is. In any case, it's going to be delicious. And another thing, you know, these tomatoes will begin to release their juices and really just add to the overall dressing and the marinade and mix and mingle with all the other all the other ingredients beautifully. Now that is the fresh tomatoes done. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a few of these sun-dried tomatoes in there because, you know, what's more Mediterranean than that, right? In goes a few Kamara and green olives that are pitted. Next up, we're going to do a jalapeno. Now, this thing is ginormous, and all of them at the store were ginormous, and clearly I'm not going for this to be that ginormous, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of de-seed this like this with the ribs and the seeds. Get that heat out. Now, depending on your tolerance, you know, you do you when it comes to this. I sometimes de-seed them, sometimes I don't. I like it hot. We're gonna go, I like to do this with a very fine chop, guys. It just seems to help the heat kind of disperse throughout the dish. All right, that's our jalapenos done. Next up is a bell pepper, color of your choice. I will say I'm using red because I have red on hand, but you know how the old saying goes, you eat with your eyes. So this would be an opportunity to use a different color bell pepper just so that it gives it, you know, more color than just red, because we're going to be heavy on the red with the tomatoes, obviously. Now, this is going to bring you some sweetness. I think a green bell pepper would go really well with this, if I'm being honest. But any color, like I said, would be awesome. This also is going to give kind of a crunch to it, you know, as a pepper is a wont to do. Let's do, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 or however many, you know, the spirit's going to give me of some green onions. I think I can do that. Let's switch over to big knife. Here's big knife. Hey, big knife. Now what I'll do, I normally kind of cut the old shaggy ends of this off. And I'll just do it all kind of in one cut. And I like to do mine kind of on a diagonal. This is going to give it a nice kind of bite. I use green and white on these. Into the pool you go. Let's dump our chickpeas in. They're happy, happy, happy. And one of the things they'll say that, you know, Mediterranean food, and Susie in particular, has kind of changed my life on salads, you know, to an extent that can be life-changing, is the use of herbs, right? So instead of lettuce, what you will see, this may have seen better days, but, you know, it's just me. Yeah, so instead of lettuce, lots of times you're going to see a lot more herbs come to the table. So this is parsley, stems and all. Half cup, something like that. And to this, you could also use, we're also going to add some mint, but you could do, basil would be amazing with all of the tomato action happening here. That's parsley done. And now we'll get our mint. Now, I'm not going to use the stems on the mint, so it's a little tedious, but it's oh so worth it. I mean, I don't have to tell you what mint is going to do to this from a magic perspective, right? A freshness, a springtime, summery thing going on. This one unfortunately met its maker. And one more in here. I'm just going to kind of roll this up and do a rough chop, guys. That smells amazing. And that's mint done. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to give this a toss to get it coated in the dressing, which is on the bottom. You always kind of want to toss bottom up. You get a chickpea and a tomato. It's just one of my favorite things. The garlic comes through. The citrus brings the freshness. I've got the mint, the herbiness of the parsley. Some basil would be absolutely amazing. So another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is serving this. So as I may have mentioned, this is going to hold in the fridge, and the longer it goes, the better it's going to get. Just trust me on that. Now, when you're ready to serve, sprinkle a little feta on it. Why would you not do that? Avocado sliced on this would also be absolutely delicious. I can't stay out of it. Let me get a... So good. So good. But you definitely want to, when you mix it up, you're definitely going to want to let it sit in the fridge for a couple hours, let it get acquainted. And then I would say bring it out maybe 30 minutes before you serve it or need to serve it. Help kind of warm up those flavors just a little bit as it comes to ambient. It's going to open everything up amazingly. All right. So easy. It's impressive. It's delicious. It's got your protein. It's got your vegetables. It's got everything you need here, guys. So here we are. This is Balela Salad coming over from the MediterraneanDish.com. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe and come along for the ride, guys. We're going to see you next time. Cheers.